Welcome to Gene and Mike do the New York Times crossword.
Hi, I'm Jean.
And I'm Mike. And today we are doing the crossword for Saturday, October 5th, 2024. So, on this first Saturday of October, did you do the crossword?
I did do the crossword.
And what did you think?
Well, it looked daunting, as most Saturdays do, but it wasn't too bad, for me anyway. I got through it in less time than it usually takes me to do a Saturday. Considerably less. So.
That was my experience as well. I think I may have set a Saturday record.
Really?
I got through it so quickly. I could not believe how the author and I, the author being Nathan Last, we must have just been on the same wavelength.
Really?
You know, usually I think that the Saturday crossword constructors read my mind and then pick the words that I don't know. And I think Nathan switched that around and picked the words that I do know.
I see.
So I was just amazed. Because I spent an hour on Fridays, and I was figuring, well, I'll probably spend an hour on this one, but it was not the case.
Well, very good.
And the clues were magnificent.
Yeah, there were some great clues. Great clues.
I did start off incorrectly. Newcastle under blank, Staffordshire, England. And I thought, well, it's got to be Avon, because everything's on Avon or under Avon.
No.
Avon calling, but it was Lyme.
Lyme, yes.
You knew that?
I was thinking it was Tyne, T-I-N-E, but...
That would be a fork.
I know, but I think that might be a part of some English name.
Maybe there's a fork in a river somewhere.
Maybe, but it was lime.
So I didn't start off well, but the one, let's see, 5 across was whale, which I eventually got to be ball, and I just kept filling in answers.
Very good.
Which is the way I like to do my crosswords.
That's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah, they go a lot faster when you put the answers in, as opposed to just sort of ponder. I
liked 17 across, pitches low and inside, and it was Subway ads.
Yes,
I thought that was very.
That
funny.
Was brilliant. Nathan should get some sort of an award for that.
Right, and the one right above it was good too. 14 across. Reward for altruism, maybe good karma. So, but no, I love that Subway ads. I thought that was really funny.
We had 16 across. Beer whose name means morning sun was Asahi.
I think that's a Japanese beer.
We've seen that many times.
Yes, but never clued like that.
Right.
It's usually clued as Japanese beer. So.
18 across, right underneath that, feature of Garamond or Perpetua serif.
That's right.
As soon as I saw fonts, I thought, it's got to be that. It's 5 letters. That's the only word I know related to fonts.
Oh, as soon as you saw what, Garamond?
Garamond.
Oh, okay.
I don't know about Perpetua, but
yeah,
following Garamond.
I always pronounce it Perpetua, but maybe it is Perpetua.
Well, it's the word perpetual.
It's one of my favorite fonts.
Is it?
Oh, yeah, I like to use that one.
Wow. I've never even heard of it up until this moment.
Yep.
I will have to go investigate it.
Yeah.
My favorite, of course, is Comic Sans.
I don't think they make that one anymore.
I don't know that they can stop making it. It's not like they melt down the lead.
No.
No longer will we have Comic Sans. We have gotten rid of all the Comic Sans fonts.
In the latest version that I have where I work, I don't believe Comic Sans is in there.
You can probably request it.
But there is one now called Congenial that kind of looks like.
Congenial. Oh, okay, I see. It's a rebranding.
Yeah.
Okay.
Kind of looks like Comic Sans.
I will sort of guessed it 4 down. Given name of the first Countess Mountbatten, and it was Edwina.
Yes.
I had the ED and just sort of kept going. So I was like, well, it's going to be like Edward. I thought it was going to be Edward, but then I decided it was going to be, since it was Countess, I decided Edward was right out. And so
the Countess Edward.
So I went for Edwina.
Right. That
seemed to work better. And then we had 19 across, forensic site in Quantico, Virginia. And that was FBI Labs.
Right.
Or FBI Labs, singular.
I first put DNA lab, but I guess those could be anywhere.
Right.
But FBI lab pretty much has to be in Quantico.
Well, you'd think they'd have more than one, though, right? Sort of like backup labs.
Oh, probably they do, but maybe the main one is at headquarters there, because that's where their headquarters are.
I did all right in the. I sort of got the top left done, and then sort of worked around to the bottom and sort of moved my way up. Just sort of, but like that middle part of the grid, they had quite a few longer answers stacked on top of one another.
Right.
Like they had 26 across. Unforgettable night, perhaps, was a dream date.
Yes.
At first, I was thinking it was going to be like nightmare. And then I had dream, and I thought, well, maybe there's such a thing as a dream mare.
Yep, and it's funny, yesterday we had dream girl.
Exactly. Yep.
Now we have dream date.
No coincidence. Joel knows how to time these.
You think?
And so, yeah, it turned out to be dream date.
Yes.
And right above dream date, 23 across, org that discourages traveling. So my first thought was Greenpeace.
Oh.
Then I thought it's only 3 letters. And so then I thought EPA, because they don't want people to pollute, so they don't want them to travel.
Oh.
And then I realized the EPA probably wouldn't be discouraging people from travel, because then the Pete Buttigieg, the Secretary of Transportation, would start beating up or attempting to beat up the EPA. Anyways, turns out to be NBA.
The NBA,
Yeah.
yes.
That was much more amusing than EPA.
Definitely. Oh.
And let's see, in that area we had 5 down. Political activist who organized 1963's March on Washington, Bayard Rustin.
Yes.
Did you know that?
Yes.
Whoa, that would have helped.
Remember, we saw a play about him.
I remember the play. I don't remember the name of the character.
Blueprints to Freedom. And it was the story of Bayard Rustin and his involvement with that march.
Really? I saw an entire play about this person?
Yes.
And don't remember?
Yes.
That was several years ago.
It was quite a while ago, yeah.
300,
but,
I believe.
We give Martin Luther King the credit for that march, and certainly he was
I
very
think we'd better give him
prominent.
the credit.
But it was Bayard Rustin that really did the organizing of that. But he couldn't take any credit. He didn't want to be in the limelight because he was gay. And back then he would have been
Ostracized.
or
more arrested.
Than that,
yeah.
maybe. Yeah. So he had to kind of stay in the background and undercover. But he was really the dynamo that got that march going and organized and everything. Yeah, it's an amazing story, and I believe there's a movie coming out, or maybe it's already come out about him as well.
Oh,
so
I'll have to go look for it.
Yeah,
We had 30 across. What shells can be filled with? So of course I thought marinara, but that was 1 letter too. I needed 1 letter more. Turned out it was crew teams.
yes.
So I saw the word crew and then sort of filled in teams.
I wasn't quite sure what that. I had the teams and I had a W, and I thought, what could it be? Crew teams? I never really heard that phrase.
Well, they talk about the
crew.
Yeah, right.
But a crew team, that seems like a redundancy.
It does. You're right. You've got your crew, which is a team.
Right, but a crew team.
Maybe the crew team also includes the HR director or something. I don't know. The person doesn't actually do the rowing, but they just cheer them on.
Right. Yes.
And push them out of the shell if they're not up to par.
I like the one right under that, 31 across. Rotary successor. Touchtone.
Yes.
I love the old touchtone phones.
That took me a while to figure out what they were getting at there.
Yep.
I was thinking of Rotary. At first I was thinking of the social organization.
Oh. Well,
isn't
they're
that called
still going, yes.
Isn't that called the Rotary?
Yes, Rotary Club.
Right.
But they're still a thing. There's no successor to them.
Well, they might have. Okay, I'm not really up on the Rotary, to be honest.
Right.
And then I started thinking about there's a type of engine called a rotary engine.
Yes.
And I was trying to make that work, but touchtone definitely worked better. Underneath that, we had 32 across, oldest city in France. And I had enough E's and L's in there to think it was Versailles.
Oh.
but it was Marseille.
Marseille, yeah.
It was a breakthrough when I took the V out because I was trying for 32 down to come up with name of the whale in Pinocchio starting with a V. But it turned out to be MONSTRO.
MONSTRO.
Not Vonstro.
Right.
I love that name though, MONSTRO.
MONSTRO, yes.
That is so good.
That's perfect moniker for that.
At first I thought, how am I supposed to know the name of the whale? But MONSTRO I should be able to remember.
Right.
And then next to that, 36 down, post-Trebek Jeopardy host, Bialik.
Mayim Bialik.
Yes. Have you ever seen her
Yes.
hosting?
Just snippets. I don't really watch that much TV, but I see snippets, on Facebook and stuff. But yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I guess I was just reading this very lengthy story about sort of her rise and fall in Jeopardy, and how I guess is Ken Jennings now the permanent?
I believe so.
Yeah, and how he sort of started off just being the occasional host, and she was sort of the person in charge, but. He was better. He became better. I guess when he first started, he was a little bit unpolished and rough edged, but he certainly has the chops, right? I mean, he won 74 games in a row.
Yeah,
So,
it was pretty amazing. But yeah,
we had 37 across. Let's see, that was Buddy Guy's. No, let me try that one more time. W.H. Auden's The Fall of Blank, and I thought. It's the fall of the House of Usher.
No.
But then I looked at the grid and realized I only had 4 letters, so that wasn't... Well, if I had to complete a phrase, the fall of, I immediately go for the House of Usher.
I believe that was Poe that wrote that.
Hey, at least it was some...
Was it the fall of the House of Usher?
What?
I don't think that was the title. It had House of Usher in it, but I don't think it was the fall of, was it?
Well, let's see. It had something to do with the House of Usher, and it was the fall of the House of Usher.
Oh, yes, it was.
So you have the fall of Rome, you have the fall of the House of Usher, you have the fall of things that haven't been propped up properly.
Now I can understand your confusion there.
Yes, but I only needed 4 letters, not 15 or however many were in the House of Usher, and that was Rome, the fall of Rome.
That is correct.
And that led to some really great clues there, like 44 across, double duty, stunts. So for the longest time, that U of stunts ran into 41 down, cheek. And I had a T and a blank and a D and an E, and I thought, the only letter that works there is I. So I had stints, and if you do a stint in the army, and if you re-upped, you'd have stints. So I was okay with stints, and I was okay with tide. I wasn't sure why tide was cheek.
Oh.
I was like, that doesn't seem to work.
No.
I was thinking, okay, you've got the water, you've got the laundry detergent. Those are the only 2 interpretations. I couldn't get tide to work, but I couldn't think what was wrong with stints. And... but the reason it was wrong was cheek was tude, as in, I guess, in attitude.
Attitude.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah, did you get that right away?
No.
Okay, I feel slightly better.
Well, I don't even think I saw that because 40 across was unchanging, and I got static there.
Sure.
And I got all of the acrosses there.
Including stunts?
There were some great acrosses. There's some great down ones, too, like 33 down. Epitome of completeness. Dotted I.
Yes.
I thought that was a great clue. And then also I loved 50 across. One who sees what you mean, lip reader. Mm-hmm. That was a great one. So I actually got all of the acrosses there. So I didn't even notice tude.
But that includes stunts. You looked at double duty and thought stunts?
I thought of a stunt. Yes, I did.
Wow. Mm-hmm. I'm very impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I looked at that.
Like a double in a movie, they do the stunts.
Yeah, I understand it now, but I looked at that and thought double duty, and I thought about battery. Mm-hmm. And so I was like double A's or something.
Mm-hmm. Well, I think I had the S and the T. So I knew it had to start with ST. And that T came off of 21 down, which is another great clue. It's nothing new. Same old story. Oh.
My first take on that was, so I had the S, and I might have had I think I just first had the S, and then I had the S and the A. And I thought, oh, it's going to be same old, same old.
I thought that too.
Except I spelled it just O-L. S-A-M-E-O-L, S-A-M-E-O-L. It fits.
Oh.
But then I thought they wouldn't spell O-L.
No,
It would be like O-L-E, I think.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, same old story.
Same old story. I put same old thing, first of all, but same old story. Yep.
Yeah, I think that same old story sounds more familiar.
Right.
Right. Part of a doping investigation, 46 across was blood test.
Yep.
And let's see if they had anything. Kites, e.g., 49 across was birds. So listeners, remember, if you ever see kites, it could be a trick. It might not be the thing that you go fly.
Right. I like the last clue, too. Last across clue, 53 across. Like some narratives and rooms. Tidy.
Yes.
Tidy narratives.
And
tidy rooms.
What remains one of my favorite words, even if I don't remember how to spell it, 51 across, tad, was skosh.
Yes, that's a great word.
I was going back, indeed. I was going back and forth between S-C-O-S-H and S-K-O-S-H.
Oh, no, it's K.
And then, of course, you've got the kosh, the things that you bash people over the head with. But that's not quite relevant for this clue.
Oh, I guess not.
But that K was running into Bialik, and since I didn't know Bialik at the time, I will give myself permission to not be embarrassed by the fact that I spelled it with a C.
Just a couple above that was another one I really liked, 42 across. There are layers to this. Lasagna.
Yes.
It's my favorite food.
Nice.
There are layers to this.
Yeah, I was thinking of I was going for Vidalia. I was thinking it was going to be an onion.
Oh.
And I mean, it fits Vidalia. It would have worked.
Okay.
Except none of the letters did. The A did. Actually, 2 of the A's worked. So 2/7 of the letters were correct. All right. Well, this was a great crossword by Nathan Last.
I enjoyed it.
And
which is rare for me. I don't always enjoy Saturday puzzles, but this one was entertaining and doable for me. And yeah, it was a fun solve.
What concerns me is that, based on the law of conservation of crossword difficulty, I found this relatively easy. I figure Sam Mazursky is gearing up for next Saturday, and this time he's got no guardrails.
Yeah, there'll be no black squares whatsoever.
Joel's like, make it as hard as you can. Even he can't answer his own crossword. That's how hard it's going to be.
Maybe 4 black squares, 1 in each corner.
There must be a limit to how few black squares you can actually put in a crossword and fill it with legitimate fill.
I don't know.
I don't know what that number is. I'll ask ChatGPT after we're done here.
Okay.
So, all right. Well, that is it for the crossword, but it is Saturday, which means it's time for Jam Katwa, the Gene and Mike Crossword of the Week Award, where we go back through the week's crosswords, whip out our loops and our magnifying glasses, and try and identify the very best. And this time we picked... Today, Saturday. For all of the reasons that we just listed. It was a great crossword. It wasn't soul-crushing. It was hard, but it was not soul-crushing.
Definitely not.
And lots and lots of fun clues.
Yep.
So, Nathan Last, if you happen to be listening and are so inclined, drop us a line, crosswordpodcast@icloud.com, and give us an address and a t-shirt size, and we will have some swag. Northeast Wisconsin swag, can't find it anywhere else.
That's right.
Winging its way towards you in no time. It will include cranberries.
if we can find
If we can find cranberries, yes. Before the first snows come.
I heard they were just harvested, so they might not be in stores yet.
Right.
So,
we'll go investigate.
Yep.
And for everyone else who is listening, if you want to provide us with some feedback, we love that. crosswordpodcast@icloud.com. Or you can click on the fan mail link in the show notes. That is it for today.
Yep.
Sunday's crossword is out.
Yep.
We're ready to try it. We hope you are too. And you come back, listen to us talk about that tomorrow.
Bye-bye.